it's review time, and I've been working with the latest series of Bernette sergers, the b62, b64, and b68. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, where we do videos and free video tutorials on sewing machines, embroidery machines, and sergers. So I have spent a couple weeks with these beautiful amigos, or amigas, and really got to know them. And I want to share with you what my favorite points were and which one of these machines would be right for you. We have all the links to the videos in the description below, along with the free workbooks and additional online courses I recommend if you own a serger or if you're looking to buy one of these sergers. Not only do we do all these free video tutorials, I also do online courses that we highly recommend to master your sewing machine and embroidery machine even further. And in those online courses, we always have free lessons that you can preview for free to see if that course is right for you. So these sergers made for Bernette are not only affordable, they have the amazing airlock threading system that with a push of the button threads those hardest places, the upper looper, the lower looper, or if you've got the cover stitch machines, the cover stitch looper as well, leaving you the simplicity of threading the needles just like you would thread the needles of a sewing machine. So I want to go through some of my findings as I work through each of the stitches, making these free video tutorials that we put on YouTube for you to go back at any time and watch over and over as many times as you need. So for those of you looking for just a traditional serger, 4-thread serger that can even do perfect rolled hems, which by the way I love, and you also notice that these are not electronic machines. They are just good old dial the tensions in, set it, put good quality thread in, which we'll talk about, and stitch. It's so easy. And changing colors as you go from a dark project to a lighter colored fabric is a breeze because you can just push the button and change the colors in no time flat. So the b64 is the serger that is just that. It has all the overlock stitches plus the easy threading. Another thing that all these sergers have is the slide-on table that you can see here comes with each of the models. And something that I use a lot when I was using these sergers for filming is all the tools that I needed have a place right inside the front cover that they are stored in. So I never was without my tweezers, my screwdriver to take my needles out, or my needle threader, which I was always using. By the way, once you master that handheld needle threader, love it. And it's got a spot right inside, so I feel like I always was putting it back, and every time I opened the serger the next day, it was right where I left it. Along with the slide-on table that comes with these machines, all three of the models have a free arm. So if you are working in those tight spaces, going around sleeves or cuffs or openings that are circular, it's really easy to pop that off and be able to work around that enclosed area. As I took the time to play with some of the decorative threads, it was so easy just to tie on and pull these through, adjust the tensions for the thicker decorative threads, and have the results I was looking for. But speaking of thread, no matter what serger you own currently, or if you're looking to upgrade your serger models, the thread quality that you select is key to serger success. I have had so many times when students have come to class, just picked up thread that wasn't ideal and then was wondering why they weren't getting the perfect results the serger should have given them, being that it was a brand new machine. It really does come down to the quality of thread that you're using. So there are links below to the thread I recommend for all my serger students, and in some of their serger videos we do talk about how you don't have to buy 4 colors of purple and 4 colors of yellow, that what you can really get away with when owning a serger is a minimal thread color palette, from darks to whites, and somewhere in the middle like grays or creams, just like you quilters love to use a neutral color when you're working on fabrics that are across the entire color palette. So we talked about the middle one, the B64 model, just good old basic. I highly recommend that you go in and try this out at your local Bernina store and then try out the other two models. Now, what is the difference? The b68 airlock serger is both a serger and a cover stitch machine. So it's two machines in one. And it has the 5-thread option, which I don't know why, but I always wonder why I don't use the 5-thread more than just the traditional 4-thread. I think it's just because most sergers have a 4-thread. That's what I gravitate to. But every time I set up a machine for a 5-thread, I do wonder why I don't use that stitch more. It's very secure. It's a little bit wider than normal, and it has both a seam and an overlock in the finished result. I'll put a link right up here where you can jump over to what a 5-thread is really all about. So if you don't have a lot of room but want to have all the options, most people will pick the serger that is both an overlock machine and a cover stitch machine all at once. Now, if you do have the luxury or have already purchased a serger that you love but wish you had added the cover stitch feature, this B62 model is just that. It's an air threaded cover stitch only machine. So that means that instead of having to flip between overlock and cover stitch and then back to overlock, you have a machine that you can just leave always set up for that exact reason. Now, I do know a lot of our customers who have the luxury of actually still owning maybe an older serger and then adding to their serger collection will often set up one of those sergers either with black thread and then one with white thread, or they'll set up one serger and leave it always set up for a rolled hem. So that luxury of just being able to pull up to the serger for 4-thread overlock or a rolled hem is kind of like having that option when you have a serger dedicated to just cover stitch features. Now, some of you kind of wonder, like, well, do I need that option? Well, there is a time and place that we do find certain sewists do enjoy having the cover stitch feature or the chain stitch option that you see on the professionally sewn garments. So not that it's the only place that you use cover stitch is in the garment world. There's a lot of places that we've come up with since sergers have come out with this cover stitch option that you can use this amazing type of stitch. Number one I do love is that it comes out instantly. Should you make it maybe not where you wanted it, the undoing of the stitch is so quick. So you can just undo the back and poof, it's out and gone. Now, one of the things that you'll also find at your local Bernina store, and I highly recommend you take a look at, is the Big Book of Serging and the Big Book of Serger Quilting. Now, both of these will have cover stitch information in it, but this will take you above and beyond and really help you grasp the concept of where and when to use a cover stitch machine. Now, if you're looking for continued education, I am a fan of the CRAFTSY website. Not only because I have a Serger CRAFTSY class on it, yes, I do, you can take me home with you on that platform as well, but I also recommend that there are a few other teachers that have Serger project classes, advanced Serger technique classes, and there are 2 additional cover stitch classes. Now let me tell you a quick little note about those classes. I know how to use cover stitch, I know how to use it on the machine, but I thought I should look at the class and see what information was actually given. And in the first 10 minutes, I had learned 3 things that I technically didn't know, or it might have been just the way that that instructor said the information that she said resonated and helped me understand a few techniques that I've always done, but they made it so much easier. And the further in I got in that CRAFTSY class, I realized, oh my goodness, the information was amazing. So if you are looking for additional information and education, I find that my students who go on CRAFTSY and work through those particular courses are leagues ahead of people who don't. Now, the other thing that you do have with these particular sergers that I love is the workbook that you can download for free that has like all the stitches and like where you can like make a sample and stick it with that page. And it will help you just work through the different stitches and techniques. So you gain that information of hands-on doing, not just watching me do it, but it gives you something to actually work through, hence the name Workbook. Again, free download. We'll have links in the description below for you to check them out. Bernette also has additional accessory feet available for these models, things like putting in elastic or gathering or working with wire or fishing line in your next rolled hem. So there are so many things that you can do with a serger, and if it's time to upgrade your serger, I recommend that you go check these out at your local store, sew on them, and try out some of the other models that they have as well, just to compare, is this the right serger for you, or is there another one you might like even better? One of the things we always recommend is that when you are buying your next sewing machine, embroidery machine, or serger, that you look to support your local store, because in a year you're going to need to have them serviced. If you want them to continue performing at the highest level, having your annual service performed on your machines, including embroidery modules, yes, please have those serviced, is you will find that your machines will last you longer and will be headache free. So supporting your local store means that they can be there for when you need your annual service. They have technicians on hand that can take care of your machine, that have been trained and know what to look for when they open up your sergers and go through them from top to bottom, making sure everything is just perfect, cleaned, serviced, and aligned, so you don't have any problems for the next 12 months that you sit down to serge or cover stitch on these beautiful Bernette machines. If you're curious which of our online courses would be right for you, we welcome you to email us at info@sewingmastery.com, and I'll put together a list of courses that are right for you and the machines that you own. Before we go on, make sure if you are watching our videos, your way of saying thank you for the information is to click that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can continue to bring additional sewing, serging, and embroidery information to you free of charge.